Okay, that should have notified you guys. Okay, it's working. All right, so kind of what this is going to become is I wanted to ask you guys questions, see what's helpful for you, so I can maximize my time and you guys can all maximize your time. And a lot is because you're all in different cities or states. So, and as we go, like, we're only going to keep growing. Our team is not getting any smaller. Like, people are constantly talking to more people. Consultants are constantly signing up. So we need to have something kind of in place coming so that we're not trying to keep drowning when we could be already swimming and above the wave. Does that make sense? And I feel like kind of what we have going on right now is a whole bunch of people maybe not even completely sure. Somebody maybe's on their phone, or here, I'm going to go through and mute you guys a minute, and I'll have you guys unmute yourself so we can, there we go. I want you guys to take full advantage of the time that mentors are putting into me to pass on to you. And at this very moment, I mean, I know summer's getting busy. We want to maximize that. And in that, though, you're going to be seeing so many people that you don't normally see because it's summer and it's nice and everybody's out and you're having play dates, or you're meeting up with people for barbecues and parties, and 4th of July is coming, like things like that. So utilizing all of the time and space that we are in instead of trying to run around like crazy, trying to work a business, right? Like this business, yes, you have to work it like a job to have it pay you like a job. Absolutely. But at the same time, you can work the business in and throughout your life without it being super hard because you're constantly in front of people, right? So I guess kind of what I will run past you, what I'm thinking, and then I want your guys' feedback on that so that we can kind of adapt. Does that work? You can nod, raise thumbs. Okay. So at this very moment, we have meetings on the first Monday and a Discover Arbonne on the third Monday of the month. The in-between Mondays, to utilize them and maximize them for your all's knowledge and to make it easier for you guys to not have to be the person presenting, because we're going to have a lot of new consultants that maybe don't know as much about products. We were doing product tutorials on the in-between Mondays. But what has been happening is that every product tutorial day, nobody shows up. It is crickets. It is, whether it's on the phone, whether it's on Zoom, and it is on my calendar as an income producing evening. So what that means is having, like, I invite people to it. So here's a couple options. We can keep those product tutorial Mondays. So because we're going to keep having new people that don't know how to use products. And honestly, I feel like they're extremely helpful if you have people there. If nobody's there for you, obviously it's not going to make you a paycheck, correct? But if you have people there, and they can Zoom in from wherever they live. They don't even have to be there in person, but it's teaching people how to use different product lines. So for instance, like the Detox Spa line, we have on the calendar the Pure Vibrance Hair Care line, the baby line. We've done cosmetics already. We've done the boot camp, the nutrition boot camp, and that one's going to be a rotating one because, like, we always have people who want to know more about the boot camp, right? So if those are helpful for you, what we would want to do is put more prep time into whoever's inviting people, put prep time into it, and actually invite people through a Facebook group, but treat it like a presentation for yourself personally, meaning that you are actively calling people and inviting them to this event, whether it is to get on a Zoom call, whether it's to get on a phone call and listen in if they can't do Zoom, or to show up in person. And when we started this, what we wanted to do was have it, because so many people are in other states, have it to where it broke down that, so I can do it here, you guys can be watching me on video. And I mean, after we do one of them, honestly, it's trial and error, right? Like, you guys are going to gain tidbits, you're going to learn some things about those products, but then you can turn around and do the same thing with people in your city. So turning it into, or keeping it local for you guys, because I feel like there's always more energy when you're in the room with someone instead of over a video, right? And I don't think I've ever had a complaint from anybody that I lack energy. So maybe over video isn't as much, but I know that most of you guys don't know how to use those different product lines or even what they do or what makes them that. So helping with that. If they are not helpful, and that's an evening that you all need to use to do a form of income producing activity, whether it's following up on phone calls or booking presentations, one-on-ones, or booking parties that night, then that's fine, and we can take those off the calendar. So if you guys can unmute your phones or unmute your lines, I can unmute the phones. Here, hang on just a second. I actually think I can unmute all of you, and it might get really loud for a second. So if you guys can give me some feedback if the tutorials are helpful, if we want to put more effort into making them better and keep them, or if it's an evening that you think is easier to use for something else.
Well, I think that for me, the tutorials are helpful. I don't feel like I'm at the point where I can give a lot of input on everything just because of how busy I've been with everything else. And so I guess probably the continuation of trial and error for me. I mean, since I'm in Alabama, but I'm leaving for Wisconsin in a few days, and then we'll be in Boston. So it's going to be crazy, and for a chunk of the summer anyway. And so, yeah, I guess that's probably where I am.
So if we keep them and put more effort into making them useful for you guys, is it helpful for you if we set up invitations, but you guys, and I'll just start coaching you all on what to do with them, but start treating them like presentations so that it's not a dead day on my calendar. Does that make sense? And I don't want it to be a dead day on your guys' calendar. If it's going to be a dead day, then we need to take it off and fill it with something else.
Oh.
Right, yeah.
Would you keep doing it on Monday or around the day and date? So keep Monday, and then just invite people through different means of invitation, or
they can get on and come to a spot, and you can set your computer up wherever you choose, so we can figure out different places for different cities. So like in Great Falls, Jen can have people come to the salon because there's internet there. She can set up her computer and everybody can come to the salon and watch in.
Cool.
Or like we can, there's same things going on. We can do the same thing in Wyoming. Wherever you are, you can do that same thing. Anybody that's out of town, you can have phone calls. You can have, they can Zoom in, like that part. They can do any of that.
So even if they weren't meeting up with us in person to see the presentation, they could still just do it.
Correct. Correct. And we'll have, we can rotate through any product line in the catalog.
Right.
My goal was to rotate through all of them. But I feel like what's happening is that clients get on nutrition or they get on skincare. They don't know how to use the shampoo. They don't know how to use the hairspray. They don't know how to use the deodorant or toothpaste. They don't know how to use, see what I'm saying? So
yes.
we're cutting people out of our own business by not providing them the information to get them on other products. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who else? Krista, do you feel like they're helpful for you? Is it something that you want to keep and put effort into?
Yes. I think so, as long as we treat it like a presentation. So like as long as you're utilizing it and you're getting people to be on with you. If you're just, I guess you could treat it as a training if you don't have anyone else. But I would like to make it more, as a presentation. So like you are expanding your people. Like if you know people that are just on the nutrition, say, hey, you know what, we're doing this on the detox spa. Oh, what's that? Oh, we'll get on the call and let's go over it, you know. I think as long as we're doing that, I'm good with it.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm sitting, because as soon as I start to see it flop, they're going to go away, because we're not going to have time throughout the summer to have dead days on our calendars.
Right.
Like, there's going to be way too much going on, and it doesn't make you money if you aren't bringing somebody to it, or if you're just showing up for training. Like, absolutely, that's awesome. But every week you should have invited a minimum of 3 to 5 people to get on. And
do we know ahead of time what the presentation's going to be?
Yes, you'll know normally a month ahead of time. Like, I can already tell you what the ones next month are going to be.
Okay, I can get on my computer and I have a way to connect to my big TV, and I can put it up on the big TV so people can see it.
Correct.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Is this, are they going to be recorded yet, or are you stopping the recording of the presentation as well?
My plan is to do it live and not have a recording, just so people, because I feel like if people have the option of recording, what I'm seeing across the board on our team, if there is an option for recording, nobody shows up.
I agree.
Right.
And it's letting all of you off the hook. It's letting you all put your businesses in the garbage can, quite honestly, and go on about life. And it's not helpful for anybody. So that's what I'm finding right now. And because of that, I'm wanting to do it. It needs to be interactive.
Yeah, it does need to be interactive. I do like having it, just like even when I like when we're meeting other people and we say, hey, well, listen, on Monday night you can get on, and, you know, it is nice, especially like being out here in orbit elsewhere. It's a way that's like, okay, this is Monday night. This, you know, just like the book club. Okay, that's Wednesday morning. Those are two things that for me, they're anchored. It's my Arbonne relationship, where because I don't really have that, you know, here yet, and so that's just like the positives of it. I understand the negatives of it, and not being on the call. You know, and that being a dud, that is also ridiculous. And so I get both sides, but I also wanted to let you know what it does. One of the ways that it does kind of seem to help anchor it. It's like, okay, it's Mondays and it's Wednesdays. Got it. I like that.
Well, and if we keep that, then you are all able to plan for it, and you're able to keep something on your calendar and know that that is what those nights are for. And something that's kind of cool is it doesn't matter where you are in your business, you will always have people that are consultants that are walking, people that are jogging, and people that are running. And that's good. Like, you need all of them. You can't just have only runners, or, you know, like, you need all of that. But people can change at any point. So I feel like by having something that is consistent, because I feel like what's kind of missing is consistency, whether it's on, like, for all of us personally, but then as a team, but having something that's consistent makes us get into a habit of it.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of where it's toppling, it's not becoming habit, but if everybody knows that they can count on it. Okay, Donna Johnson, this is like extremely impressive, and this is a lot of what is hitting me in the last week and a half. Donna Johnson, no matter where she is on a phone call every freaking Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Every Saturday morning. She records it. Yeah. And I mean, okay, if she's on a plane, she still has her assistant do the recording of the call, and she's already got it lined up, who's training and all that stuff. But every Saturday morning, that's something that to listen in on, right? She's sitting currently, like Saturday, she's sitting in Norway on the NVP Challenge trip in the middle of a welcome dinner or whatever it was, because their time difference. And she still had a phone call. She still said hello. She still introduced the person. And that's what we need to create for us. Honestly, that's why we're sucking in a sense. Like, we need consistency. If we aren't consistent, how can anybody else trust us to be consistent? If we aren't consistent with our lives, with our business, with whatever, why would anybody join you to follow you because they don't think you're not going to be around? Make sense?
Yeah.
And if we are, I've had in the last 2 weeks, I've had more people Facebook message me notes just saying something about, wow, I'm impressed. Like, people that don't even like me. This is what's hilarious. People that don't even like me are sending me a message being like, wow, I really respect your commitment to your company. And I'm like, huh?
Everybody.
You can't even stand me. Was Tim?
Yeah, I said everybody likes you, Joy.
I know. So that's the first thing. If you guys are all in agreement, we will keep them going. But I just wanted to make sure that we are all putting effort into treating it like an income-producing activity instead of just something on a calendar filling a spot. Because at that point, that's when our lives get overwhelming. Okay, so the second thing, with a bunch of different people's inputs and kind of guiding on mentoring and stuff, I've done coaching through Jerry, and you guys have been on some of his calls, and that will be coming to an end. And quite honestly, I'm extremely excited because I feel like I learned what I needed to learn and pass on for you guys from him. So that part of me is like ecstatic about that. The 23rd, he has an all-team coaching call. So you guys like put it on your calendars. It's at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June 23rd. Everybody can get on. It's an earned call from us in the sense of like we can put our whole team on it. And we'll be wrapping up, or I will be wrapping up coaching with him. So through listening to Donna Johnson's coaching calls every Saturday, and I just listen to them when I'm running or walking the dog or whatever. Like, it's not hard. If you guys want to do personal growth, you can fit it in. If you need ideas, message me. I'll give you a list of ideas of where to put it. You can be playing it while you're cooking or washing dishes or whatever. But through those coaching calls, she's had Keith Kochner on quite a few times, and he talks about the gap effect. Essentially, why do you have a gap in your business? And why do you have a gap in your life? Why do you say you want this over here in the right hand, but your life is living in the left hand? And I went and looked on his website, and on his website, it pulled up like pretty much what he does and how it works and stuff. So I'm watching a video, and I just started SoundClouding. I just SoundClouded Keith Kochner and pulled up every Keith Kochner call and started listening to all of them, and they're all different. And I'm not kidding, like world trainers, the top income earners of companies, including Arbonne, but outside of Arbonne, pay him to speak to their teams because it changes you at a foundation level, which is where the change needs to happen. And I started listening to his calls, went onto his coaching website, and how he talks about coaching and mentoring, it is something that we are missing in the sense of life. Like, we're not taught to find a mentor. And through some of the training that he's done, even just the couple videos that I've seen in the last few days, you cannot listen to what he's talking about and go back to being the same person that you were before. And he's teaching you different things to look for, but not only how to be aware of it, but then how to do something about what you were aware of. And then in turn, how to have the discipline to make that a habit instead of, oh yay. And he uses Arbonne, for example. And in most of his trainings, he tells you when he hangs up with an Arbonne person, he says across the board, Arbonne has the best leaders. Like, you guys get the most incredible training, and you have the top leaders in the industry in your company. You guys should be proud of that. We get that for free. But going back to, most people are not utilizing it. But you can take anything from these trainings and put it into everyday life. Yes, your business can flourish, but so can your friendships, so can your relationships with people, so can your relationship with your spouse, so could your finances, so could your health. Like all these things are tied to one thing, and that is mentoring. So in doing that and talking to the different people that are mentoring me, that will be, and I posted a post on for our book clubs, that will be something that we start implementing for our book club. So because like our book club isn't doing or accomplishing, I guess, what I had in mind or what I wanted it to accomplish, I want it to be versatile for everybody. I want it to include men and women of all ages and not just like where I'm training you. Because honestly, it feels like everything on my calendar is me training you guys. And I want you, like, I'm not the answer to everything. I can point you in directions on where I know somebody needs help or is struggling. I can point you to those people. You might not know about them. So to give you an idea of why I'm choosing to use his coaching, so pretty much you go to the website, you pay $9.90 a month, and you commit for a year. So literally that's $120 in training. Do you know that no Arbonne event that I've ever been to, other than earning it, has been that cheap? It just, like, you pay for coaching, right? But you literally are opened up to his entire website. He has a boot camp, and he has boot camps on multiple topics, one for finances, one for stepping into or unlocking your greatness. There's other ones, but you can sign your spouse up for free. You can add a relative for free. So it's kind of cool because you can do 2 people on one account, right? But through that, in just the last couple days, things that he's making me do for homework, this is what we need to be doing for homework as a team. And he has, I pulled up his coaching. So I signed up for a 6-month coaching thing, and you don't pay any extra for it. It's the same. It comes with your membership. I signed up for this, and one of them, you have until the 27th, I think, to sign up for the one that I'm doing. So I started doing this, and he has at the bottom on the page, there's a button that says, if you were an Arbonne consultant, click here. And then you pick, are you a consultant going to area, or are you an area manager going to VP? And you click the button, and it lines you out literally with my homework. This is my Arbonne business homework. It is not a person telling me what to do. It is not my upline telling me what to do. It is somebody that I am paying to mentor me, tell me what to do. And the coolest thing, okay, this guy coaches around the world. Every question I've asked him, he's already answered. Like, you can message him questions. Anything that you fill out, he's going to go through and personally read and then answer you back. That's crazy. So I kind of wanted to get your, I guess, everybody's opinion or stance on that. And if that's something that you think that you want to be active in, this will be how we're mentoring, I feel like, for our team from here on out, because it takes one more aspect off of me where I'm not a boss to you, because I'm not. Like, he's teaching you how to take control of your own life, your own business, and your own family. So I guess kind of give me feedback for what you guys, I've talked to a couple of you about this and I posted something on it, but give me feedback too. And I can share the screen with you. I'll post the website. You can go play around with it.
I think it's a good idea, Grace, personally.
I guess what I was going to say is, for mentoring, the difference between a person who gets mentored and the difference between somebody who does not, it would be like somebody asking you to, if I brought you to my house and I said, okay, I'm going to have you stand at the door, and I want you to walk from one end of my house up to the other end. You cannot touch furniture. You cannot bump into walls. You cannot do anything. You have to find the way through the house. Okay. Immediately everybody's like, oh, okay, I can do that. Okay. But there's a step further. You're going to be blindfolded and the lights are going to be off. Do you think that you're going to hit my furniture? Do you think you're going to bump into walls? Do you think absolutely, absolutely. You'll probably fall down my stairs. But if I came back to you and I was like, okay, you're going to do that from one end of the house to the other end of the house with all the lights off and blindfolded, but I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to walk you through it. Do you think that you could make it from one end of the house to the other end of the house? And that is what he's saying is the difference between somebody who's mentored and somebody who's not. We sign up for a business, we get into it, and we start from one end with blindfolded and the lights off, and we're trying to find our way through and navigate through to get to the other side, and we have no clue what we're even navigating. If you have a mentor, that person is somebody who's already done it before you. They're mentoring in the sense that they have something that you want. Like they are something or have something that you want. They don't have to be the perfect person, but they can mentor you in an area of what you want. Okay, I'm completely for finding the fast track to Arbonne. I have had just about enough of like blindfolded, walking around the wilderness, being like, is there a door here? How about here? How about here? And I feel like in a lot of ways, that's what Jerry kind of connected for our team as far as presentations, one-on-ones. We have the success we have with our presentations and one-on-ones now because of the verbiage we're using from Donna Johnson and from the verbiage from Jerry. Hands down. That's why our team's signing up the people that we are. That's why we're having the sales that we are. With the number of people on my team that are working, we shouldn't have the sales that we have. It's astounding. But that's why the people have what they have that are doing what they're doing. Okay, so you guys can unmute yourselves and give me feedback on that. On that though, you have until the 27th to sign up for the courses that he's doing, and he lines you out with the books that you need. So I feel like it's a better use of our time to read something that we're being mentored on reading, which would be things that we would be reading along the road, down the road anyway. Like we're all finishing You Are Such a Badass, that book. One of the books she told us to read is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's the first book on his list, the very first book on his list. And do you know that I went online, I went to Amazon.com and I bought every book that you need for the 6 months for like $32. That's shipped to you. You just have to make sure that you're getting the books ahead, like when you need them. So you might need to go buy the first one from Hastings or something and then order the rest of them. But you guys can unmute yourselves. All the phones are muted too. So I think you maybe need to *6 to unmute your phone.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's a great idea to do this website, the one with Keith Kochner?
Keith Kochner, yes.
Yeah. I text you. I'm going to sign up when we get done. So.
Okay. Dog barking.
Richard, no. No. He's
Hi,
agreeing
Richard.
that Mama should do it. No. I didn't unmute for you.
How do you spell Keith's last name?
Kochner. And from what I'm putting together from the training that I just did, the first video that I just did in the series that he's starting, you would have like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to do the video, which is like 45 minutes to an hour. So it's a training. So set out time in your schedule on one of those days to do that training. And then Tuesday night, he has a discussion where you can ask questions for things you're having problems with, or like how to help or strategize or like different things. He has a session online that he personally comes into. So he's on, it's live every Tuesday night. So I'm positive that's recorded too, because everything that he's showing so far has been recorded. So that's another tool. For all of you guys that are on, you can go ahead and whoever wants to go next, you can talk to me and I'm going to go find this and kind of show you what all you can get. So I'll just go through while whoever wants to go next.
Oh.
Krista.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm super excited about this. Like, I think it'll be a lot better than just the book club, just reading a book on your own and then each week interacting with each other. But to have someone mentor you, I think it's totally what I need for sure. So I want to do it.
In the archives that he's got, And one of the things that he has you have to do with mentoring, you have to fill out a assessment. You have to assess yourself every 2 weeks. And I like that he mentions there is not a right way or a wrong way, but the whole purpose and goal for you is for you to keep getting better while you're going. So there isn't a bad way to do it and there isn't a good way to do it, but you have your own homework. So you're going to do it at your own pace based on what you're picking, walking, jogging, or running. And according to walking, jogging, or running, he has lined out, what do you need to book every week for the next 2 weeks kind of thing. So for anybody that's not seeing that, so here's kind of showing you what you get in your website. You can go back and watch videos for the online exchange, which I would go to this in person. This right here, just these videos, he didn't used to have online, and it used to cost you $3,000 to go to a 2-day training for him for this right here. And you don't pay extra for it. Like, this is all in the same thing. The boot camps, you can go to click on that. The boot camps, it shows you financial greatness, the stepping in or unlocking your greatness boot camp. And there's a third one. You can chat, you can go through, you can click on events. It'll show you where all the events are that he has. So you can look for up events in his area. The fish tank, I think, is for teenagers. He has a teen experience, a teen day, or maybe that one's a week. And then support and stuff. So that's kind of what the website looks like once you sign up for it. From your guys' standpoint, when you're looking in, I think that the only thing you can see is like the main website without all the trainings on it. Does anybody else want to add?
How much did you say this was?
It's $9.90 a month. So it would end up being about $120, less than $120 a year.
And which is the class that, or the one that you're starting on the 27th?
No, you have until the 27th to enroll for it, because I think you're going to be, whoever enrolls up until the 27th, I think you have until then to go back and do the same homework that he has. After the 27th, he's shutting enrollment off, and it's for the Unlock Your Greatness. So figuring out what is your purpose, or if you know your purpose, how can you better use it to help other people? So that's the one that I started doing today. And I think you have to catch up, or like to just be in the same class, you have until the 27th.
Oh, not bad.
And he has, if for people, like his standpoint is getting mentored every day, you get a 15-minute video every day on mentoring, and he chooses topics. The one for this coming week, or the week we're in, the topic is, are you for real? Meaning, are you being your real self in what you're doing and how you're working? Is that who you really are? Or are you changing for somebody, or you're putting up a facade, or you're being fake for this thing over here? Like, how are you helping people with who you are? So there's a video that you can get tips on every day, and he will bring in speakers. He's got speakers from like the top real estate agents, and they train all their people, bankers, like pretty much pick big names, and that's who he works with. Like, he trains their people. So are we all in agreement for we're keeping tutorials on Mondays, and we're going to treat them like presentations. We're going to treat them like income producing activities where it's actually making us money. For the book club will be turning into the Keith Kochner coaching, and then that will also free up, like, we can keep our book club if we want on Wednesdays as accountability if it's helpful for everybody, but we will be reading the books that he's lining us out to read in whatever we're in, and then we can just talk about the book that we're in and what we learned from it that week. So that's an option, and you guys can comment if you want to keep that, or if we would rather not, that's fine. We can flip it. But it's been brought up by a couple different people also on having something that's a video chat kind of thing around the first of the month, and maybe we could do the morning of the first of the month, whatever day that ends up falling on, that we end up doing a team video for goals. like people figuring out what their goals are, and then we can say them out loud. We can tell people what they are. So we're helping hold people more accountable. But then you also understand that you're in a group with a bunch of people who probably have the same goals you do. Where before or now it could feel like it's just separate. It's like you're on your own.
I like that.
So is everybody for group stuff? You'll have to unmute yourself, or
Is it the second Monday, the presentations, or what Monday of the month?
the second Monday and the fourth Monday. And if there's a fifth Monday, the fifth Monday will also be a presentation,
Okay, and then
except for holidays.
okay, and then the first Monday will be just like a training.
The first Monday is always the monthly meeting. So the monthly meeting will have recognition, training, and then the third Monday and a Discover Arbonne. And then the third Monday will be a Discover Arbonne. So it'll be a lot shorter. But you can bring guests to all, like I'm wanting them to be where you can bring guests to all 4 or 5 of them. So instead of, like, I know Rosie was asking me, okay, if you have a Monday night, for instance, that you have a meeting on, and you know that's all you're going to get done that night, does that count as an income producing activity? The answer is yes, when you have a guest there. So that, like, make it the goal to have people attached or like watching in or calling in or whatever. I'm going to scroll through you guys for you who are on videos. Thumbs up if you all agree. Comment, I guess, in the chat or when I post this for people that couldn't get on. Or if you want to add something, unmute yourself and add something now.
Will you just run through again then, Grace, exactly what each Monday we're going to be doing? So we're going to keep the Monday nights, but we're just going to use them for different, like the first Monday of the month is going to be our goals month.
The first Monday of
not month, goals night. Go ahead.
The first Monday of the month at night will always be a team. It's going to stay the same that it is. It will be recognition.
Okay.
It'll be recognition, the team meeting, and there will always be a little Discover Arbonne with the team meeting.
Okay.
The second Monday will be a tutorial. The third Monday will be a Discover Arbonne. The fourth Monday will be a tutorial. And you guys will know ahead of time, and we will have Facebook events that you can invite people to.
Mm-hmm.
We will have the red, I wanted to say red box. We'll have red stamp invitations that you can email or Facebook message or text to people. But it just needs to be flipped mentality-wise from it being a training night for you. Okay, awesome. Show up and get trained, but bring somebody else with you always. Mm-hmm. Always.
Okay.
And then we can talk about the Wednesdays, if we're keeping book clubs Wednesday mornings, as a way to just connect to people. And I'm totally fine with that. Like, honestly, I'm going to be getting up, like, a ton of stuff in my life is going to be changing time-wise. I'm going to be up at like 5:30 every morning so I can work out, read, and do my personal growth stuff before I'm training or helping people, instead of trying to cram it all in before noon, because I still have to have another job. Most of the people that we're going to bring into our business still have other jobs. So we need to work with them, but it needs to be habit. This can't be something that I kick butt at during the summer, and then in the winter I suck at it because the sun doesn't come up till 7 or 8, or I don't want to go outside and go running, or, right? Like, it has to be something that's habit. And if we're going to start habits, summertime's an awesome time to start a habit. First of all, because it's warm outside and you're going to want to, but you also have more energy in the summer. It'll be habit by the time it's winter.
Okay, so keep the book club, start another mentoring, the coaching, and then do the Monday night things, and that's
Okay,
what you're looking at.
I have people messaging me and texting me.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That the goals, doing goals would be an awesome idea.
We're doing goals, aren't we? No.
We have not at this point. It's been one-on-one. So having a group session where people are doing their goals, and what we're going to end up doing, it's going to make you all lead your teams. Okay, it's going to make you lead the people on your team to show them how to set goals, what should be their goal. If they have no clue or idea on what to start with, what should be their goal. But you also have this sheet now that you will get in your mentoring class, and I'll walk you through. You guys can message or call me and I'll walk you through where to find it. But he's telling you, if you're walking and you're getting from area to region, what does your activity need to look like? How much in sales should your team be doing every week or every 2 weeks? If you're getting from consultant to area, if you're walking, jogging, or running, what should your sales look like? What should your group volume be every 2 weeks? So that you know as a team you're getting to your goal, because the more you keep duplicating, the more that's going to keep adding, right? So that's going to be, I feel like that this is going to take goal setting for all of you to a different level, because I'm not the one that's helping you with your goals. Make sense? Like I can help you figure it out and break it down, but this is an accountability thing that you're going to be signing up for through your mentoring. Make sense? And he asked the question in his training. He asked how many people like accountability. I am one of the freaks that likes accountability. If I have accountability for something, I kick serious butt. And what I run into is that I hold people accountable, but people do not hold me accountable. So if I set up something for an accountability partner, I can tell them what I'm going to do, and I will go do my thing. But nobody calls me to chew me out if they think I didn't do it. You know, like I don't ever have people checking back on me to see if I was accountable to it. So even for me, for this switching over, I think this will be awesome. It's going to make me work harder. Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay. Text me if you didn't message me and you wanted to say something. I will post a video for the people who couldn't get on. And yeah, I'll get events up so you guys know what the next events are coming up, or, you know, upcoming. And then we can put them on our Facebook page for photos that you all can save to your phones and text out to people. The next event that we would have would be our book club finishing up You Are Such a Badass. Will be Wednesday morning at 8 or at 7:30 Montana time. And yeah, I can post the rest of it calendar-wise. Please go look at the pinned post in our Facebook group, because the same links and phone call, everything is always the same every week. It will always be the same numbers. So for anything that we're doing, we will always be using that link and phone call, okay? Thank you, everybody, for getting on and being up to date and aware of things. And when I post the recording, if you can please tag or send it to, I would just tag the person, whoever's on your team. From now on, you are responsible for that person to know about it, okay? If you sign them up directly and you are working, or they're direct in your district or whatever, you are responsible for tagging them and things and keeping them up to date, okay? So have a good night, and message questions or call me if you need to.